Hi, toucans. Happy Friday. You ready? All right. Hands up high. Hands down low. Hide them. Where'd they go? Out comes one. Out comes two. Give a little clap. Put them in your lap. Good job. All right, let's get ready to sing, okay? Here we go. Rise and shine and welcome to school today. Rise and shine and welcome to school today. Rise and shine and welcome to school today. We're so glad you're here. Okay, what do we do now? Louder. Rise and shine and welcome to school today. Rise and shine and welcome to school today. Rise and shine and welcome to school today. We're so glad you're here. And the last one is softer. Rise and shine and welcome to school today. Rise and shine and welcome to school today. Rise and shine and welcome to school today. We're so glad you're here. Okay, first thing we do is did you say calendar? Oh, good job, calendar. All right, let me get it up here so we can get ready. Okay, so we are still in the month of April. Can we say that together? April. Great. Are you ready to count? I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep going. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Good job. So today is Friday, April 17th. What's this on my face right here? I'm in front of a window and the sky is blue. So what's shining on my face and in my eyes right now? The sun. It's a sunny day. Finally, we have a sunny day together. I don't know if you've been outside or not yet, but I have already taken Cora for a walk and it was cold. I had to put my winter jacket on. So it's sunny today and this morning it's cold, but it's gonna warm up. All right. Can you hold both your hands up? Let's hold up 1, 2. Now let's count all of our fingers and make sure they're there, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have mine. Do you have yours? Good. All right, let's be dogs. 10 little dogs went out to play, to dig in the dirt and play, play, play. 5 were spotted, 5 were not. And at dinner, they ate a lot. Good job, toucans. So last time we met, we were talking about a pond and how it's not big like the ocean, it's smaller. And water comes in and slowly goes out, but it's kind of calm there. And lots of interesting animals live there. Remember we read a book and there was turtles and fish and frogs. Do you remember anything else? There were certain plants that live in the water, lily pads and a hyacinth. The water hyacinth. And other animals came and got drinks. Remember there was a deer? So I wanted us to talk about birds today. And remember the other week you guys made nests? You did great, and I hope you were able to sit outside and look for birds. Some birds eat fish, like osprey and different hawks, and some birds eat worms, like robins. You know, there's a kind of bird that when they lay their eggs, it's not in a tree. It's on the ground. Ducks. Have you seen ducks before? They make nests on the ground. So I thought we would talk about birds and ducks today. And actually, I thought, now if we had been in school, we would have made a duck family today. And we would have used our hands. I would have painted your hands. Remember how it's always cold and tickly, kind of? And then we would have put our hands down, and then we would have painted your fingers and put your fingers down. You know, I think we could do that now. Now, at my house, I don't have any paint. The paint's at school, and I'm not at school, I'm at my house, so I wanted to show you. Maybe you've painted your house, and that would be great. You could, maybe mommy or daddy or grandma or grandpa could paint your hands and then put them on a piece of paper. But I don't. Look what I have. What is this? A marker. So let me show you what I'm gonna do. I just have a plain piece of paper. What color is my paper? White. There I am. Okay, so let me turn this down a little more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my hand on my paper, and then I'm gonna use the marker and go around all my fingers. See, now I'm holding my fingers still. The fingers that are on the paper are staying still. And look, the sides of my fingers are getting blue, turning blue. And then I'm just gonna close it. And then I'm gonna take my finger and put it down, and I'm gonna trace my finger. 1, 2, maybe I'll make 3. 3, and then my finger's turning blue, so I'll have to make sure I wash it with soap and water. I'm gonna close these off. So right now, let me hold this up so you can see. Right now, I just have a handprint. Can you guys see that? Let's move the computer over. Technical difficulties, 2 cans, there we go. See, I just have a handprint and 3 fingerprints. Doesn't look like a bird yet. I need feet, right? So I'm gonna draw, let's see if I can, a line down. Well, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna show you what I made. You'll see. Now, it looks like a mama bird and baby birds. So look, I drew a line down and made little feet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now what do you think these are here? What do birds eat with? Their beaks. So it's like a mama bird and the baby bird's following. You guys could make these at your house. You could even color them in with crayons or markers, or like I said, if you have paint, you could just make paint. But if you do the paint, I wouldn't suggest adding the beak or the eyes or the legs until the paint's all dry. But that's what we would have done at school. We would have used yellow paint. We have 2 things to work on. One is I have a book about ducks, and I bet some of your parents might know this book. It's called Make Way for Ducklings. It's a book I read when I was little. Remember, I used to be your age at one point, long ago. But what I like about this book is the pictures look like they've been drawn with a pencil. Would you like to see? This is called Make Way for Ducklings. Let me open it up. Make Way for Ducklings. What's this? It's a duck. See the pictures? They're just kind of this like brownish color and white. Kind of like someone drew them with a pencil. I really like that. I hope you like it too. Are you guys ready for a story? Okay. All right. These ducks are called mallards. It's the type of duck. So Mr. and Mrs. Mallard were looking for a place to live, so they were flying around. Wonder where they're going to choose. They flew into Boston, Massachusetts, and there was a place in the public gardens that looked very nice. So it's an island with water around, so they could have drinks of water. This place looks like a good place to spend the night, so they did. The next morning they got their breakfast. Now remember, ducks eat plants that grow underwater. So they put their heads down in the water all the way down and they eat the plants. Oh, guess what? In this pond they didn't find much to eat. So they decided it wasn't a good place to live. They had just gotten ready to start on their way to look for a house when a boat came past. It's called a swan boat. It's not a real swan. It's just the way they were made back. This boat's made, and that's where the driver sits. And so they started to ask the swan where they should live, but the swan didn't answer because the swan's not real. They're not in the water anymore. They got out. They were thinking, maybe we could live here, but what are these boys riding? Bikes. Remember at school, sometimes you guys ride the bikes around the playground? And guess what? The bikes came flying past, and Mr. and Mrs. Mallard almost got hit. So they decided maybe this isn't the right place to live. So they started flying again. And remember, they're looking for water and places like grass and places like that. And there's not that much here. So they keep flying over the city, over Beacon Hill. Oh, and they found a little park. But it's not quite right. There's no water. So they kept flying. Oh, and this is a river called the Charles River. This is better, quacked Mr. Mallard. The island looks like a nice quiet place, and it's only a little way from the gardens. That might be just the right place to hatch our ducklings. So, oh, do you see? Mrs. Mallard and Mr. Mallard, they made a nest. So she's going to lay her eggs, and remember, they don't have blankets, but their feathers are like blankets. So she's going to sit on the eggs. And look, they can come right over and get water and food. So that's a good place. So guess what they did? While the eggs were still in the nest and they were okay, Mr. and Mrs. Mallard flew back to the public garden where the swan boat was, and they met a very nice policeman. And look, he's feeding them. Huh. They visited Michael every day and he fed them peanuts. What's in her nest? Eggs. Let's count how many eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And look, she's moving them around with her foot, her very gentle webbed foot. The eggs hatched. What are they? Baby ducks. They're called ducklings. One day the ducklings hatched out. Oh, and with their being aged, that was a big job for Mr. and Mrs. Mallard to take care of them, because they have to teach them how to eat and how to swim. Oh, look, Mr. Mallard decided it was time for them to learn to swim, so he got in the water and they came over, but they're just not too sure. They're a little nervous. And Mr. Mallard said he was going to take a trip over to the garden where Michael, the policeman, is. And I'll see you in a week in the public garden. And Mrs. Mallard took care of the ducks. She taught them how to swim and dive. Oh, look, he's looking at a bug. Do you think he might eat it? I don't know. She taught them to walk in a line and to come when they were called and to keep a safe distance from bikes and scooters and other things with wheels. Remember the bikes, the boys on the bikes in the public garden? Yeah, we don't want the ducklings to get hurt. When at last she was satisfied with them, she said, "Come along, children, follow me." And they swam in a line to the opposite bank Remember, they're going to go to the garden where Mr. Mallard is and where Michael the policeman is and the swan boats. It's a big trip because they can't fly yet. They have to walk. Look, they're walking on the sidewalk. They waded ashore and waddled along till they came to the highway. That's what cars used to look like then. How are they going to get across? Let's see. Oh, Mrs. Mallard started to cross the road, honk, honk, with the horns of the speeding cars. And Mrs. Mallard yelled at them because she got scared. They made such a noise that Michael the policeman came running, waving his arms and blowing his whistle. He put himself in the center of the road and he stopped traffic. And who's crossing the street? Mrs. Mallard and her babies. Oh, should we make sure all 8 are there? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, they're all there. So they got safely across this road. What do you think is going to happen next? Should I turn the page? Let's find out. As soon as Mrs. Mallard and the ducklings were safely across, see, they're walking down the sidewalk there. They're walking in downtown. Let's see, the ducklings were safe on the other side, and on their way down Mount Vernon Street, Michael rushed back to his police booth. He doesn't have a radio. He doesn't have a gun belt like the normal police officers nowadays wear. So how is he going to talk to the other police officers? Let's find out. He called Clancy at headquarters and said there's a family of ducks walking down the street. Send a police car quick. So look, he went and got on an old-fashioned telephone. See, it's not like a cell phone now, but it has a cord. What's going to happen? Let's find out. Oh, meanwhile, Mrs. Mallard had reached the bookshop and turned onto Charles Street with all of her ducklings. And look, people are watching. Would you watch? I think I would too. All right. Everyone stared. An old lady from Beacon Hill said, "It's amazing." And the man who swept the streets said, "Well, now, ain't that nice?" And Mrs. Mallard heard them and was so proud, she tipped her nose in the air and walked along with an extra swing in her waddle. Oh, look, you can see them. They're still on the sidewalk. I'm glad they're on the sidewalk. That is a safe place to be. Whoa, look, all the traffic is stopped. Michael's call sent other police officers. Look where they're going. Let's see. The policemen held back the traffic so Mrs. Mallard and the ducklings could march across the street. Remember, they're going to the public gardens. Let's see. Do you think they made it? Yep. Right on into the public garden. Inside the gate, they all turned around to say thank you to the policeman. When they reached the pond and swam across the little island, there was Mr. Mallard waiting for them. Did you see him? Yeah, there he is. So remember, this was the first place they found, but with all the bikes and everything, it was a little scary for when the ducklings were little, but now that they've gotten bigger, they can go there. So the ducklings liked the new island so much that they decided to live there, and all day long they followed the swan boat and ate peanuts. And when night falls, they swim to their little island and go to sleep. And they're safe. Nothing can get them there. The end. What do we think? Good book, great book. I hope you liked it. So make way for ducklings. You guys did really well listening to that. Thank you. Something else we need to do. let's go over our shapes, okay? So I'm going to point to a shape and you tell me what it is. Are you ready? What's this? Triangle, right? It has 1, 2, 3 sides. It's the only shape with 3 sides. There's the triangle. Now look at this one. What is it? Square. You're right. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. They're all the same. Now look at this one. It has 1, 2 long sides and 1, 2 short sides. What is it? Rectangle. Good job. And this one's round and round and round. What is it? Circle. Good. Okay. Now here comes our last page of shapes. What's this one? Heart. Good job. What's this one? Star. Ooh, look at this one. It's like an oval. It's a circle that's been stretched. Mrs. Shoemaker gave it away. What is it? Oval. And what's this one? Our special shape this month? Diamond. Good job, toucans. Well, I hope you have fun making a bird family sometime, and you should send me a picture of it. I'd love to see, okay? Let's sing our goodbye song. Skinnamarink-a-dinky-doo, skinnamarink-a-doo, I love you. Skinnamarink-a-dinky-doo, skinnamarink-a-doo, I love you. I love you in the morning, I love you late at night, I love you in the evening when the moon is shining bright. Skinnamarink-a-dinky-doo, skinnamarink-a-doo, I love you. Miss Liz and I miss you. Bye, toucans.